Hello guys and welcome to the fourth video of the Blackjack tutorial using Java. What we're going to do in this video is change the positions of and dimensions of our buttons, create some grids for the cards and the text that we're going to display, and it's all going to be amazing fun. You're going to see why. So for now, just follow me and type what I type. So right here are going to be our grid, our, let's say, card grid, positioning and dimensions. So we're going to create an integer grid x, which is going to be 50, another integer grid y, which is also going to be 50, then an integer grid w for grid width, which is going to be 900, and another integer is the last one. Yeah, you guessed it, grid 8 for grid height, and let's make that 400. And so what the grid is actually like a box in which the cards are going to be displayed, and it is going to be right here. So in order for us to be able to see that, let's go in our paint component and say temporary grid painting. So let's go ahead and change the color, g.set color. Let's make it let's say black, sorry, color.black, and one not this time, not fill, but draw a rectangle, and it's going to be grid x, grid y, grid w, and you guessed it, grid 8. So let's go ahead and see what happened. Okay, this is the grid of our cards, and what we want to do now is create an not exactly a grid, it's going to be a log in the end, but for now let's say that it's a grid. So temporary log painting. So let's say log borders, it's more correct. So g dot draw rect again, and it's going to be grid x, this time 2 times, or not actually 2 times, it's going to be grid y plus the grid height plus the space we want between our log and our grid. Let's say we want it to be 100 pixels. Then grid w, we want them to have the exact same width, and then not grid, actually this is wrong, grid w, and let's make that 500 because we wanted to end outside our border. So this might be a little too much, so let's say plus 50. Yep, that's better. So in this black box right here, are going to be displayed, or all the cards are going to be displayed, and in this black box down here all the messages that we want to display are going to be displayed. So what we have to do now is get rid of those buttons. We want to change their positions, but before we do that, let's go ahead and say temporary score, not score, sorry, totals, and totals and hit, oh come on, and hit stay messages and buttons grid. So let's go up here and say message no totals and hit stay grid positioning and dimensions. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing. So integer, how are we gonna call it? Let's say that well, let's make it hs for hit stay x equals grid x plus grid w plus how much space do we want it to have? Let's say 50 for now, and we're not change that. So HSY is going to be the same with grid Y, because we do not want it to be any lower or higher. And now HSW is going to be, let's see, we got 1280 minus 50 minus 50 minus 900. There remains 280. We should have, let's say, also 50 pixels from the other side. Let's make that 230 and 8 as 8 for height. Let's make that 400 as well for now, and see how it looks. So let's go down here and say g dot draw rect and hsx, hsy, hsw, hs8, and see what happened. So here we're going to ask our user hit or stay, and here's going to be the hit button and the stay button. Or actually, we could place the hit button here, the word or here, and the stay button here, and it's going to be hit in the button or outside the button, just a string displayed, and the stay button here, hit or stay. I like that. Didn't do it that way in the Blackjack I have already built, but this is pretty good as well. So let's go ahead and move the hit and stay button right here. So here is the hit button positioning. So these are the dimensions and this is the positioning. So we want it to be at h as x plus the dimensions are 230 by 400, 230. This is 180. We got 110. 230 minus 180 is, equals 110. So if we divide that by 2, we got 55. So plus 55. And this is going to be, let's see. Well, let's mark that up as comment. This is 400. If we divide that by 5, we should get 80. So we're going to give 160 to the top button, 160 to the bottom, and 80 for the word or, because it's going to be hit or stay. You can see that our button disappeared, and this because I marked the position and dimensions as comment. But it's going to be alright in a second because we're going to rearrange. So it is y plus, so we got 160 minus 80 equals 8 left. So if we divide it by 2 makes 40. So let's add 40 and it should be great. Look at that. Perfect positioning. So let's do pretty much the same thing about stay. The x position is going to be exactly the same. H as x plus 55. Somebody's calling me. I cannot answer right now. I'm making a tutorial. And now that it comes to the y, we're going to say it is y plus 3 times 80 plus 40. 3 times 80 is 240 plus 40, 280. I hope and think that I'm correct, and yes, I am correct. So we're going to add a string right here that is going to contain the word or, hit or stay. And whenever he hits hit, a new card is going to be given to him, and whenever he hits stay, his turn is going to end and the dealer is going to play. Before we are actually, let's go ahead and add this right now. Or no, first let's change the positioning and dimensions of the yes and no buttons. So what we need to do is create 2 more grids, one for the score and one for the yes and no. Play more, yes, no. Play more, yes, no. So let's go up here and say play more question, grid positioning and dimensions. So again the same thing, an integer called PM for play more x which is going to be equal to the 8sx, exactly the same. Then the PMY is going to be the 8sy plus how much did we add? Should we add? For sure the height, and let's say another 50. This 50 right here is the space that is going to how is it called? Damn my English, guys. The space between this grid and this grid right here. So PMW is the width, and it's going to be the same with HSW, and PM height is going to be, let's say for now, 200, and so we can change it later. And let's go down in our pen components and say temporary play more grid. So g.draw rect and pmx, pmy, pmw, pm8, and if we run this right now, we get a really nice grid. And here we're going to display a message play more and yes, no. So let's go ahead and move this and change the dimensions, and then the video is going to be over because we have been recording for 17 minutes already. You have to take a break. I know it's going to be only 2 minutes more. Don't worry. So let's go ahead. We want to place this under the middle, so and divide the space, the width that is available by 2. So this is what, 230? Yeah, it is. I think it is 230. Yeah. So we got 100 for the height because it is 200 divided by 2, and 230 for the width. Let's say that we want 10 pixels from each side as a spacing. So it is going to be 210. 210 by 80. So 210 by 80, and so it's going to get really small. Yeah. Okay, so let's go right here and say this is going to be play more plus this has to be changed. Okay, 80 is okay. It's just that we got 230 minus 10 minus 10 minus at least another 10, so let's make that 100 for now, and we can be changing that later. PMX plus 10, just like we said, and this is going to be PMY plus 110. So let's see. Yep, it's just where we wanted it to be, and let's go ahead and do the same for the no button. It is PMX plus 10 plus 100 plus another 10, that makes 120. This is PMY plus 110, exactly the same, and the same dimensions, of course. So this is going to be just perfect now. So what remains to do is add the score here. That we're going to do that in one of the last videos. We actually, it might be the last thing we do at all, because the game has to be functioning in order to save a score. So what we're going to do in a while, I'm not sure if it's going to be in the next video or the one after it, we're going to add a string right here, which is going to contain the word or, and a string right here that is going to contain the question play more. Actually, we could drag this down a little and ask hit or stay up here, but I think it looks better this way. You're going to be able to change it yourselves later, I promise. So I'm going to leave it as it is for now. And so in the next video, we're going to continue drawing to actually draw the last grid, which is going to be the cards themselves. We're going to play some cards, and here just for you to see how they're going to be displayed, and then we're going to move on some really interesting stuff. I know that might have been a little boring until now, but I promise you the next video is going to be super cool, because we are going to create our cards. And in order to do that, we're going to create a brand new class called card. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.